So now y'all come into my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. Glad you're here. Happy Wednesday to you. We are making burgers today because it's tailgate season, right? And we love Friday night football. You know, when my son was in high school football, we tailgated before high school games. Isn't that fun? And of course, you know, our beloved college teams that we adore so much. You know, we're always tailgating or cooking out, or even if our team is just playing on TV. And do y'all do that thing where you camp out all day at your house on a Saturday and schedule out all the games in what order that you're going to watch, and we just veg and grill and watch as much football as we can stand to watch? I just love days like that. Well, naturally, we need burgers, don't we? And so today I'm making a bacon, mushroom, and Swiss burger that is reminiscent of a burger that we actually had when we went to the beach this summer in Florida. We went to a little place, and they called their mushroom Swiss burger the Big Juanita. I don't know who Juanita is, but I hope she doesn't mind being called big. But I don't blame them, because this is piled high, and it's delicious, and it's good, and it's smoky, and it's sweet, it's earthy. You're going to love this. So what we're going to start with is a little rub that I'm going to put on my burgers. So what we have is some salt, some pepper, 3 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon brown sugar. Actually, that's not true. Flip that. 3 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, because we want it to, it's a little bit sweet. 1 tablespoon of pepper, a little bit of garlic, granulated garlic, and I just do a pinch, just a little pinch, 1/4 teaspoon or so of ground cayenne pepper for just a little bit of heat. This is a rub that I have just started using recently. I had it, as a matter of fact, on a biscuit. Yes, you heard me right. This sweet and like brown sugary and peppery rub. I had it brushed on top of a biscuit with butter, and I just about died and went to heaven. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I'm making that and keeping that at home, because it'll go on just about anything. So look, you can really tell there's a lot of brown sugar in it. See that? So it's salty, which we need on the outside of our burger. Peppery, which of course we love with our salt. And then that sweet, sweet brown sugar. Now, we've made a little extra. We're not going to use all of that on our burgers, so you can just store this airtight or put it in a little shaker of some kind and keep it for just about anything. It's really good. Now, I have 4 80-20 burgers. You know, 80-20 is the ratio of fat. And so I like to have a little bit more fat than like a 90-10. I feel like you need to have a little bit of fat in your burger. And so what I'm going to do is barely drizzle these and brush them with vegetable oil, because I like, well, I think it does 2 things. Helps keep them from sticking to your grill naturally. And I like when oil gets hot and it creates that little crisp. I love that. So that is what I have done on these burgers, a little bit of oil. And then I'm just going to take maybe I don't know, just want to cover it. Teaspoon, 2 teaspoons on each burger. And I'm going to do this to both sides. And we're just going to let these kind of camp out a little bit. Kind of let that rub soak into our burgers. I may sneeze. Y'all know how I am with pepper. When I talk anywhere near pepper, it gets to me. If you've been around here very long, you're not surprised. It's just the way we do it around here. Okay, so I'm rubbing this around on my patties. We're gonna have a really hot preheated grill. And then I'm gonna flip them. We're gonna do the same thing on the back side of our burgers. Oh my goodness, they're so good. Don't y'all love burgers? I mean, isn't it hard to beat? I'm not kidding. Every week that we grill for a tailgate or something like that, we sit down and we run the gamut of what do we want to make? oh, and then we do all these things. Let's do brisket. Let's do ribs. Let's do whatever. And we look up all these recipes and we get all excited. And then you know what we always end up going back to? Burgers. You can't beat them. They are delicious. And what's really fun about this particular recipe with the caramelized onions and the mushrooms and the bacon and all of that is that you can make all of this in advance and take it with you to your tailgate. If you have a good cast iron skillet, you can even take your cast iron skillet and your mushrooms and your onions to your tailgate site. And you can throw that cast iron skillet right up on top of your grill. And you can just make those onions and mushrooms right there on site. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't you look like a professional, like you knew what you were doing if you rolled out with your cast iron skillet and you sauteed down and caramelized all that good stuff for your burgers? Okay, those are done. They're beautiful. The seasoning smells fantastic. We're gonna let these sit for just a few minutes. And then when we come back, we're gonna stick our bacon in the oven. We gotta get our bacon going. Then we're gonna start working on all of our good things that make this mushroom Swiss burger so good. This is cooking today. Welcome back. We are making burgers today because it's that season. Actually, all year round is pretty much burger season, isn't it? Especially if you're in the South. I mean, we grill in February even if it's cold outside because burgers are always a good idea, don't you think? But today we're making a bacon, mushroom, and Swiss burger with caramelized onions. We're going to make a little dijonnaise to go on there and toast our buns. All the best flavors in the world, y'all, so good. So we made a really yummy little salty, brown sugary, peppery, garlicky, cayenne rub. And we sprinkled it on our burgers and we're just letting those sit there, and that dry rub is just kind of soaking into the meat. And we're preheating our grill. And we want to bake some bacon in the oven. Now I have about 2.5 pieces per sandwich because we're going to break them up into halves or so and pile them on there, because you cannot have have a burger with a bacon shortage on it. It just doesn't count in my book. So what I always do is preheat my oven to 375 and we bake I can't say bake the bacon to save my life today. I've stumbled over it 3 times. We're gonna bake the bacon for our burgers today. And I crumble it up and then spread it out so we have some high-low places on our sheet pan so the grease kind of falls down away from it. It helps it to get a little bit crispy. And since we have our rub, why don't we just do the littlest bit? You know what, I'm not even gonna use my spoon. I'm just gonna go over it. A little pepper, a little salt, a little garlic, and a little brown sugar. Wouldn't hurt our bacon at all, would it? Carry those flavors on over. Not a lot, just enough. Make it kind of fun. So we're gonna stick that in the oven for about 18 minutes, 20 minutes until it's about as crispy as you like it. Okay? Get my timer going there. Now, we have a little skillet here, my cast iron. I'm gonna get that preheated over about a medium heat or so. And I have 2 yellow onions that I've halved, trimmed the ends off of, and then I'm just gonna cut them into kind of thin, half moons or so. Just like that, isn't that easy? Y'all are gonna be surprised at how simple these burgers are. And how much flavor there is. Every bite, there is something so good. And these onions, a caramelized bite of onion, which is so sweet. They get so sweet, don't they? And they taste so, so fine on a burger when they're caramelized like this. So what I have, let's do our butter. Let's get our butter in our pan. I usually like to I have about 4 tablespoons. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons first, and I'm gonna leave my other 2 tablespoons hanging out over there, because when we add our mushrooms into our pan, we're gonna hit it with another 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna do our 4 tablespoons divided, okay? Then we're gonna let that get going and put in our little half moons of our onions. And you really wanna give these plenty of time to cook down. We want them really tender and almost where, caramelized. I mean, that's what it is, where they turn just really golden brown. And we throw those mushrooms in with them a little bit later and let them join in on the fun. And they get beautiful and a dark, pretty brown as well. So we're just gonna let those go. I've turned my heat up just a little. And as those start to cook, those little rings are gonna start to come apart a little bit. And so we can just kind of mess with them a little bit as we go. They'll start to separate on their own. So I'm just gonna watch them and stir them and let them do their thing. Oh, those are so good. And you can make caramelized onions early. You can put them in your refrigerator and hold on to them and put them on sandwiches and pizzas and salads and whatever else. Okay. What will be joining our onions is going to be about an 8-ounce package, just sliced mushrooms. And so I'm just going to throw those in after I would say our onions they start to turn kind of golden, like a light yellow, and you can tell they get to be a little bit, kind of start to look a little bit translucent. That is about the time I'm going to throw my other 2 tablespoons of butter in, and then my 8-ounce carton of these sliced mushrooms, and let them finish, cooking down and getting so good. Now, let's see what we need to do. Let's talk about our yummy buns here. We have really good bakery buns from the grocery, and we are going to, like the good kind, like where you kind of splurge on them. And then we're gonna make a yummy little sauce that's really, really simple to make. And we're gonna work on these when we get back. Get these kind of prepped and ready to go for another tasty, tasty bite on this big stacked burger. We're gonna work on that when we come back. Hope you'll come back. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome back to Cooking Today. We've got lots of things going on. We have a preheated grill because we're making some really beautiful, yummy fall burgers. Don't we love them? Just love them. These are delicious. We made these for my family the other night. We devoured them. They are so seasoned with our little sweet and peppery rub that we've made. They are sweet from our caramelized onions and earthy because we're sauteing down some mushrooms. Then, of course, we have cheese. You can't have a burger without cheese. And then we've got great quality burger buns from our bakery and bacon. I mean, what's not to love about this burger? So, preheated grill, burgers hanging out. We have onions, 2 big yellow onions that we are cooking over medium-high heat until, see how they've started to get real yellow and translucent? This is the time that we are going to add in our mushrooms, and it's gonna look like, oh my gosh, they're not gonna all fit, but let me tell you, they cook down and cook down and cook down and cook down into really dark, beautiful, earthy bites. You're just gonna love these. You wanna give them plenty of time, so we're gonna let them keep going. I have added in my last 2 tablespoons of butter to help them along. And I'm going to just give them a little nice fold to get those mushrooms under those warm onions as much as possible, just to kind of help start cooking the process. Move that process along a little. Okay. I'll turn those down just a little there. Hot. Now, I have another preheated cast iron skillet over here. You can use whatever. You could even throw these on the grill if you would like. And all I'm doing is having these good bakery buns. And then I brushed that skillet with just enough oil to cover the bottom. We're not frying these. We just wanted them to have a little tiny bit of crisp on them. And I'm just going to they're just going to spend a minute or two just face side down like this to just get kind of toasty on the inside. So we'll do a couple at a time, and I'll just check those. And then when they're done, I grill them down like this, and then when they're finished, I pick them up and I put them back on top of themselves like this so that they kind of help each other stay warm. Really, really good. Okay, we're gonna let these hang out over here. We'll clean up our crumbs. You can't have a burger without a little bit of sauce. Now, my husband said he kind of liked a little barbecue on this. So you can do whatever, floats your boat. I like a little dijonnaise, which is a really, really complicated sauce. It's Dijon and mayonnaise. How about that? So it's basically like saying, give me a little mayonnaise, give me a little mustard on your burger. But dijonnaise is way more fun to say, wouldn't you agree? I am not being particular. That is a heaping tablespoon. This is a sauce, so it doesn't matter. So there's 3 tablespoons, and I do to 1 tablespoon of Dijon. Delish. You could also, if you wanted, add a little tiny pinch of our rub in here if you want. You have to be sure not to get things too salty. I mean, you don't want to have to be chugging a water because everything is just too savory. It'll burn you. But you could add a little hot sauce if you want Tabasco in here. Whatever floats your boat, whatever sounds good to you. And like I said, my husband liked a little sweet, the barbecue sweet with his. But this is what I love. I love a mayonnaise-y, saucy burger. And that makes enough. That's about 4 tablespoons altogether, maybe a little bit more because I was, gracious with my servings. But that makes about enough for each burger to have about a tablespoon or so. I love that. Even on just like a turkey sandwich at your house, that Dijon is just great. Okay, gang, checking on our mushrooms and our onions. Oh my gosh, my burger buns. Okay, we're good. I thought we were gonna have a catastrophe right there. I forgot all about them. Okay, so look, just a little crisp and firmed up, just the littlest. We're gonna set those there. I'm gonna put on the other 2. Our bacon is cooking in the oven, on our sheet tray. Beautiful, easy cleanup. Look at these. Do you see the color and how they're changing? I do the tiniest pinch of salt in there. When you add salt, especially to mushrooms, it helps kind of start to release their natural juices and yummy flavor. Okay, we want to let those keep going. Those are going to just keep going. Those mushrooms are going to be brown and beautiful. We are going to throw our burgers on the grill, hit them with Swiss the minute that they come off. We have our Dijon, our toasted buns. We're going to stick these in. It's a burger day. Doesn't it sound so good? I can't wait for you to see them. This is Cooking Today. Welcome back to Cooking Today, y'all. I know I say it a lot, but you should smell it in here. We have got grilled burgers with cheese Swiss that's melting right down on top. We seasoned those burgers with that brown sugar and pepper and a little bit of garlic that rub on top. So they're so savory and good. We had some gorgeous flare up on the grill because there's just enough fat in those dudes to just kiss those with this flame. It's just so good. Then we've caramelized down our onions and our mushrooms. I did a little splash of heavy cream and a couple of dashes of Worcestershire for some flavor and to make those even saucier. We have our dijonnaise, and that's what we're gonna start with now, our toasted buns. So let's build one. So we have our Dijon on the bottom. Then I like to do my lettuce next, so that all those juices from your burger don't soak down into your bottom bun and make them a soggy, wet mess. That lettuce kind of helps protect that bottom bun. We're putting that gorgeous burger right there on the top. And then, look at this. These sloppy, this is the magic. These sloppy, wet, creamy, savory, earthy, caramelized onions. And we eat this with a knife and a fork. It's a mess, and you want it to be that way. And then our crisped bacon right on top. Y'all, look at the flavors. Look at the flavors. Look at all that color. Crispy bacon. Put our lid right on top. Get right in there. Look at that. Get right in there with a fork and a knife, or if you're brave enough, just go right on it with your mouth, whatever you want to do. But grill these burgers. Bacon mushroom Swiss burgers for your fall, for your tailgate. Try it at home. Love every bite. This is Cooking Today.